Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
What up?
And we also have a special guest, a return guest. If you're a longtime listener to the podcast, you probably will recognize his voice. First time on a video podcast, Dan Beckman. What's up, man?
Hey, what up, man? How you guys doing?
Oh, man.
Chileando.
Nice intro.
Nice intro. Yeah, you like that?
I imagine you two just wailing on the guitar.
Oh, it's just me.
Yeah, I can't play any musical instrument for shite.
Yeah, no, it was
I
just
could do
me.
the triangle, maybe just bing just at the end.
But we used to have like our old intro, which you still hear a taste of it when you're watching the YouTube video during our little break. But I took like the same chords and I was like, oh, let's do an updated version because now we're doing the video and stuff. We needed some to refresh everything.
I just imagine like your beard, like it was a windy day. You're playing guitar.
Playing
your
in the
beard
wind.
was, like,
I like to put a
in the
fan
wind.
on when I play guitar, so my beard just blows in the wind. I love it. Well, thank you everybody for coming back this week. We do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, as do all the YouTube crap, but also, follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Audible. We're on all the podcasts.
Actually, we're coming off of Spotify because of Joe Rogan. Fuck that shit. No, I'm kidding.
We will not stand for this unless Spotify pays us. Please pay us, Spotify.
And then
We will sell out so quick.
That's the line in the sand right there.
Yeah, exactly.
We will not
$2
unless you pay us, and then maybe. No,
And I mean, or if it's really hard to take us off of there. I don't know what is involved, but if it's too much work, we're staying on also.
we'll just send an email.
But in protest.
Yeah. Did you guys read like what the fuck he had said or like watch the video?
I heard he said the N-word a lot.
A lot, and people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was so. I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard the story, I was like, "Well, context is everything." In what context did he say it? And basically, he was like quoting other comedians, but like it's a long ass fucking video of him consistently, and it was a hard R. Like it's not, and he could have easily switched it out to the N-word. But the one where I was like, all right, you can't forgive that shit. There was two. There was one where he told a story that he went to the movie theater to go watch Planet of the Apes. And he was talking about something about the cab. He went with his friend. The cab driver was just like, oh, yeah, it's a safe neighborhood. And he said it was an all-black neighborhood. He's like, dude. And he said, it's Joe Rogan saying it. I'm not saying it. He said, I was in Planet of the Apes. It's just
God.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you saying?
Dude.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, he's a big dumb musclehead. I mean,
I really think
Like,
that he thinks he's uncancelable. He can't be canceled. He
Well,
really thinks
Spotify
that.
already said they're not gonna.
yeah. I mean, they need to get their money's worth for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the we were talking about it briefly when the Neil Young thing first happened. Is that like they paid Neil Young like
Pennies or quarters.
2 cents or whatever every time one of his songs is played. Like you gotta listen to a lot of Neil Young to get up to the $150 million. So they're like, all right, sorry Neil, sorry, Joni Mitchell.
And I don't see like Joe Rogan's hardcore like customer base or fan base being like, oh man, he's the N-word. No.
They're like, well, it's freedom of speech or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm done with Joe Rogan. I'll watch him whenever like Tom Segura's on there. When he's talking to comedians, because that's his wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, say what you will about Joe Rogan, but he knows comedy. He's been around the block for a long time. I don't even like his comedy, but he knows the business. So it's interesting when he has other comedians on there. Everything else, man, he can get fucked. Like, I just do not care.
No, I didn't watch the apology thing on Instagram.
Yeah.
But all I've heard is some people say, "Oh, it was decent. It felt genuine." But I did hear is when he was back on his show, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, it was a political hit job, and they were just after me. They need to find something." I was like, "All right, so you obviously weren't fucking sorry for what you had said."
No, he was not sorry for sure. He just wanted. I'm sure Spotify made him say something. Say something
for sure.
When you're back on our platform, you do whatever you want, but like just put something out there for.
Supposedly they're gonna scrub all the shit he had said that people might get upset, so he's gonna have just new episodes only. What else can you really have?
It's just gonna be like 2 episodes with Bert Kreischer on there.
All the like friendship Lex Friedman episodes, of them becoming like close friends.
Oh my God, so ridiculous.
I swear.
Well, hopefully you you don't get too offended by what we say. We do say some dumb stuff too every once in a while, but it all comes from a good place. So,
I think there's
nerdy
zero
place.
N-words in this show.
Oh, I'm confident there are 0 N-words on our
You
podcast.
can go back. There's probably some other weird shit for sure.
I cut them all out.
The nerd words.
Yeah, every time there's audio issues, that's just Christian saying the N-word a bunch.
The tasty bits. They were all the tasty bits of
Yeah,
UCD.
exactly. Well, let's get back into the nerd world and do some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, why don't you lead us off?
So we were talking about it before we started recording, but I watched my nerdy confession. Watched Kingsman, and it was good. It was entertaining. It wasn't
Kingsman or whatever.
The Kingsman or Kingsman,
maybe.
I don't know.
Terrible title.
It was cool. It was
just called Kingsman 3 prequel or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, the prequel of Kingsman. There wasn't as much action as the first one, particularly, and what I wanted, and what made the first movie was Colin
Firth.
Yeah, his action in the church.
Yeah.
That was fucking incredible. So I was hoping to see something that there wasn't, which kind of made sense. It's like the beginning of how the Kingsman started. But if you're gonna watch it for anything, it's for Rasputin. Every fucking scene with Rasputin was fucking dope.
He was awesome.
He was dope.
So funny.
I forgot the actor's name. I honestly thought he was Russian, but he's not.
He's not even Russian. Probably
no.
Some British trained actor or something.
Yeah, they're always fucking amazing. Goddamn, Brits always doing so great. Rhys Ifans, I think.
Reese, maybe?
What?
He was in The Replacements.
Yeah, wait, he's in a couple movies, like a lot.
Yeah, what was the Adam Sandler one where he's from hell? What the fuck?
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky, yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my god, that dude. Yeah,
yeah, not
totally
Russian.
Recognize
not
him.
Russian fucking at all.
That guy.
Oh
dude,
yeah.
he's in
Oh
a lot of
no.
movies.
Now that I see that, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Welsh dude in The Replacements. That's how.
Yeah, the soccer player who they got to be the kicker.
Yeah, he was Whitey.
And Whitey.
Whitey.
He's like smoking a cigarette before he goes to kick. God damn, The Replacements is a great movie.
Also, and I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong. Jimon Honsu.
Yeah, Digimon Hansu.
Yeah,
Digimon. Yeah.
We cut out the N-word when he said it right. That's gone. There was a bleep.
Yeah, Jimon Hansu, I think is.
He was awesome too, but one scene to me was a little cringy, and I'm not going to ruin one part. But well, actually, it's in the first one how they all have Knights of the Round Table names, and they made him Merlin. I was like, so you made the one black dude the Magic Negro? Like, really, dude? You guys couldn't fucking
wait. But isn't Merlin the guy who does all the Q gadgets and stuff?
Yeah, he's like the Q of.
But was Jimon Hansu? Was he like the gadget guy? No.
No,
he's just like he can't be one of the actual knights.
Yeah, he was like the valet. He was like not even. And that's the thing.
Well, it took place in what, World War I?
World War I, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, historically accurate.
Yeah.
Not to say black people are treated great right now, but they were definitely worse off back then.
You're leaning a little Joe Rogan right now.
These are historical facts.
But it was cool. I recommend watching it, particularly just for Rasputin. That guy was fucking hilarious.
Nice.
I want to talk about the hilarious stuff because I know Dan has seen it, but Cody hasn't, so we won't.
Okay, here's my nerdy confession. So, my friend John, who I play video games with from time to time, we play a lot of like golf video games and stuff like that, like real like laid back, not like Apex Legends or Call of Duty or anything. But he made me download this new game called World of Battleships. Have either of you guys seen it?
No.
So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just basically playing Battleship with like battleships, like your naval warfare.
Like we're talking about like the 1980s game where you say like, hey, E5 or whatever.
It's like, it's like that, but you're actually sailing the battleship and like you have to turn the guns over and launch torpedoes off the side and stuff. And it's funny because like you're so slow. Those battleships, like I'm going 20 knots. It's like, well, that's like 20 miles an hour almost. I don't know what the exact conversion is, but that's like, that's like a jogging speed. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, oh fuck, that guy's over there fucking turned hard to port, and you're like, and the ship's just like do.
So what do they use, like fog of war, so you don't see where they're at and you just have to guess? Like
no, you actually see them. So you're like strafing other battleships and stuff, and they have different game modes, like King of the Hill where you capture the middle zone, or Control where there's like 3 different zones. But yeah, it's this really slow naval combat. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of fun when you like fucking sink a ship. You're like, oh, fuck you. And it's just like, it blows up. But god damn, it's like we're playing together and I'm like, oh, let's go over to that guy over there. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. It's like full speed ahead. It's like 21 knots. It's just like, and then you have to like make sure, you're turning the guns, and the guns are like super slow panning, trying to get lined up, and then you shoot, and then you have to reload. It's like, oh, it's fucking 28 seconds till it reloads. I'm like,
oh my god.
just
That sounds like a game a general of an actual ship would be playing.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure
Let's
it
work
has
on our time. Let's do some battleship drills.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it has some sort of value when it comes to training and stuff. And I was really pissed when he told me to download it because I looked it up and I was like, oh, you know, and you can like, there's loot boxes and you can get new upgraded ships and stuff. I missed out. There was a Warhammer 40K pack that was back in November. And I was like, that would have been fucking sick.
Yeah.
But I missed out. Now I can't
I'm sure
buy
you
it.
could drop dollars just to get the skins or whatever.
I looked, Christian. I was willing to drop
He was
real
diligent.
money. But yeah, it's called World of Battleships. I don't know if I can recommend it or not, but it exists.
Can you
It
paint
sounds-
like boobs on the side of your ship or something?
I wish,
like,
God.
I mean, what kind of skins
You
are we
can get
talking
like
about?
yeah, you can get like different camos, and they had like a Christmas one that had like snowflakes on the side and stuff. And you can get different like commanders who are actually historical commanders throughout history, and they give you like little perks and stuff. So there's stuff you can do, and then you can upgrade like your targeting system so the guns pan faster and target. You know.
Oh.
So there's stuff to it.
It's
I
just
think
slow
I'm pretty
going.
sure the game is actually free to play. So you know if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's definitely interesting. I just wish it was a little faster paced. You know, like I get it. You're not like doing crazy donuts in these battleships, but just speed it up a little bit for our sanity. So it's not just like, oh, here I come. Here I come.
I don't know if
Don't
that
worry.
game would be better or worse if you were high.
I mean, I think you would forget you were playing it and be like, "Oh shit! Oh, I'm
I
taking
sunk."
torpedoes." Yeah, it's kind of silly, but also you have to like so when you shoot like your guns, your big giant cannons off the side of the ship, you shoot it and you have to watch the shell travel through the air and see where you place when you're shooting at these other targets in the distance. You're like, "Ah, shit, I'm behind him. I got to move forward a little bit." Shoot another one. Okay, I think I got him down. It hit him in the back. So now you just launch all of them and try to make sure you hit
It
him.
my
sounds like
God.
a more advanced version of that worm game. Do you remember like you just kind of
Oh,
move some
yeah.
worms and you
I
kind of
used to love
launch?
that game.
That game was fun. Like it
Maybe.
just sounds like a slow version of that game.
Yeah, I mean it's what I'll say is it's like a slightly more in-depth version of Battleship, the game, because you're like, well, I didn't hit him there, but I feel like he's right here, so I just move it a little bit and then shoot it again. So it's kind of like that, but. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm glad I played it. I don't know how much more I will play it, but you know.
Just from that, I'm going to download it.
Yeah, check it
wanna
out.
see
Yeah,
that one.
jump
curious.
on. We'll play together. I have a couple battleships now. I've unlocked a few since I've been playing it.
We're looking at the G.I. Joe battleship. So right now.
Oh yeah.
From the 80s.
Yeah, you can be an aircraft carrier, but if you're an aircraft carrier, all you
aircraft
do is launch aircraft. So you just like
What?
so that person just hangs out in the back of the map, not getting involved, and just launches planes, and the planes drop torpedoes and
Whoa,
stuff.
that's like
But then-
tactically accurate. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the most boring job ever. You're just like, oh, we don't want that battle over there. We don't want no part of that. We're hanging back here.
It's like
And
playing
just
Madden.
you can go and make dinner and stuff and just have your guys like sitting back in the back, and then eventually someone destroys you.
Yeah,
It's
like I
like,
said, you could definitely be high and be the battleship or
it does.
or the
aircraft
the
carrier.
aircraft carrier.
That'd
Yeah, I
be
know.
like playing Madden and you're the kicker and like you have to play
Yeah,
on the sidelines.
you just have to watch the whole
You're
game.
like this and you just change positions like with your controller,
Yeah.
waiting for the kick.
And then every once in a while, oh, time for a field goal. You can fucking go. Oh, there's a punt. Never mind. That's the other guy. Yeah, that'd be funny. A really like super accurate Madden where it's just like you're the kicker and you're like, okay, well, call me when you need me, guys. I'll be here. Oh shit, it's third down and third and goal. Okay, I'm fucking gonna start warming up, and you start kicking into the net. Yeah, that'd be great. Dan, how about you? What's your nerdy confession?
Well, my nerdy confession is a money spending thing, and I have
If
purchased.
you say crypto, I swear to God,
no, not crypto. I have.
this is not that
purchased
podcast.
4 of the Hasbro Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes dual packs.
Oh,
I
Jesus
bought
Christ.
4 of them.
4 of them.
So I could open one of them and I have it on my desk. And then I have another ones that I might play with.
Sure.
Every so often when the door's shut.
Okay.
And the other 2 are for displaying. one for rating and one for unrating. Like, what's wrong with me, man?
Yeah.
It's
Nothing.
because of the O-ring.
You have one for each occasion.
So explain the O-ring for the uninitiated.
In the 80s.
I figured it out from context, but who knows?
Well, in the 80s, you had the 3.75 size G.I. Joes, which were like the best toys ever in that era. Well, just, you can argue that, but one of my favorites, and they had an O-ring. So in the waist, there's an O-ring that connects the legs to the body,
right?
Which allowed you to articulate
that waist pivot.
Yes, and it made such a huge difference versus like the Kenner line of Star Wars toys at the time.
With those, they're just arms just went up and down.
So I have like
robots.
This crazy memory of how much fun it was to play with those toys. And so for years, they have not released the O-ring versions.
Right.
Like here and there. So to have Snake Eyes in freaking, Storm Shadow.
Right.
Oh my God, I lost it.
Well, I think, I think it's funny because, and maybe it's just because I don't pay enough attention, but like every time like I walk down, a toy aisle or something at a Target, it just seems like, obviously with all the advances in technology, there's some toys that do crazier stuff, but none of them seem to be as good of action figures as we had back then. You know what I mean?
Aren't they like flimsy or like plastic? Something
they seem like it's really brittle, hard plastic, not as much articulation like he was saying.
Yeah.
And back in the 80s, they knew kids were just going to be like throwing them fucking
they had
to firecrackers.
They had to last. Right?
Yeah. And I feel like that group, whatever group of people, you watch that Netflix show, like
the Toys That
Made Us, those people, they knew what was up, and and even though those little changes like color, like what they're wearing, it made a big difference, man. They just need to go back to what wasn't broken.
That's one thing I don't understand is like I've seen toys nowadays, like new G.I. Joes or whatever, and they just don't look as good as those old G.I. Joes because you had elbow articulation, shoulder articulation, waist, and knees, and I was like that was
neck later on.
They did
the
and they're small. They're like
and they made all these things that you can put them in, so it was like a really cool.
Yeah, we're surrounded by them here in the freaking studio here.
It was the best, man. They just need to re-release that entire line from like 84 to like 89, and just do it O-ring style, not the automatic chop ones. And I guarantee they sell out.
Right. Yeah, I mean those are some of the best toys. Even like the Ninja Turtles felt like those. They felt like beefier than toys nowadays. You know,
the only company I would say two companies, SH Figure Art, and Super 7 are doing due diligence.
Isn't Super 7 a San Francisco company?
I believe. I think so.
I don't.
San Diego and San Francisco.
They closed the one here, right?
Or, did they?
No.
There used to be one in Japantown. I think that one closed.
Oh, it did.
No, it wasn't on Japantown when I saw it. It was on
Haight. I think
it
was over by Mission Dolores or something.
Yes, over that area.
That's Super 7, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Super 7. They used to be on Haight Street. That closed. They moved there. And I went there like a year ago. I didn't know they were closed.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love that place.
They might not be, but they're cool. If you guys are into like cool retro toys and stuff, they're an awesome company. They get cool licensing deals for.
Oh my god, the best! I don't know who their licensing guy is, or girl, but that is amazing, man. That is they get everything.
Yeah,
and their ultimate series.
Right. Well, that company, at least from what I know about them, is they were guys like our age who were like, toys today suck. Let's fucking make the badass old toys.
Yeah, again. Like what I would have wanted as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's what you want. But the problem is, like, parents aren't going to Super 7 to buy their kids new toys.
No.
They're going to not Toys R Us, dated myself there. Target, where else do you buy? Amazon, I guess. Kohl's, yeah, sure. Best Buy now has a bunch of toys. So they're not going to Walmart, I should say. They're not going to places like that to buy toys. So those are made for us, basically. For us,
our generation, man.
Feel a little bit of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, that's some good round of nerdy confessions. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the series. Or season, I should say, finale of Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. We will be getting into spoilers, so we'll warn you when that's about to happen. But we'll give you like a spoiler-free review before we do that. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Book of Boba Fett. We'll be right back. And we're back. You guys rested on the break?
Yeah,
feel,
for sure.
Feel refreshed?
Full rest.
Hung out, blinked 3 times. You know?
Yeah, good. Got to wet the eyes again every once in a while. Yeah.
You know?
So let's talk Book of Boba Fett, and let's do let's call it a spoiler-free review. So, should people watch this series? It's 7 episodes long, each about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Is it worth their time? Is it good Star Wars?
Yes, it is. It's slow burn. Yeah. I definitely in the beginning I was a little, all right, I'll keep watching, and then it just progressively got better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd agree. I'd say it's slow starter the first 4 episodes. There's good parts in them, but none of them were like, oh my God, this is great. But 5, 6, and 7 were fantastic. So, some of the best Star Wars out there.
Yesterday I rewatched all of them before watching 7. I'm like, you know what? It all makes more sense now. Like watching an episode, like and waiting a week, you're like, what the fuck's gonna happen? But once you watch it all, if you do it in one sitting, the whole thing makes way more sense, and it's better. So the first time I was kind of like, the second time I was like, oh, okay, now I understand like why it started like this and where it's going. So I would say the second viewing is better.
Second viewing is better. Cool.
And it had, I feel like it. Different from Mandalorian, where Mandalorian was like its own kind of like new thing.
It's all new and fresh, yeah.
Yeah, Boba Fett definitely uses some of that Mandalorian, power to push the series, that relationship. So I feel like the first 4 to 5 episodes, you're right, it's definitely a slow burn. But those
the last
5, 6,
3
and 7, dude, are like, and me and you were talking when they're going down, like life-changing Star Wars, man. Like kind of, I hope what Star Wars is going to bring in the future with the other series and stuff.
And I really hope that that this and the Mandalorian and hopefully Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano, when those come out as well, I'm hoping that this is a signal for how Star Wars is going to be led into the future. Take control away from Kathleen Kennedy and let these Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who obviously love Star Wars,
and
understand it and understand what it means to be a Star Wars fan, and let them carry the torch for a while.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I noticed you didn't mention the Gina Carano series that they were going to make. You only mentioned like
that's not happening anymore.
I mean, I don't know.
That bitch got canceled.
I'm wondering if
they didn't call her in to help Boba Fett.
I know.
Spoilers, man.
Yeah. Spoilers. Gina Carano is not in the show.
These people, they didn't know, man.
They didn't know. They were like, "Where's Gina?" Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to continue that series. I mean, like they had a whole bunch of plans.
I think it's already canceled. I think.
I thought maybe they would just recast or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, hey, remember her? This is her now. Here's a whole show about her. I think it's just canceled. Who knows what they had planned for that character, but I can't, like, I already didn't care. Like, I don't care about her backstory and like, oh, she was in the Rebels and now she's like jaded. Ooh. Like, I don't care. I don't really care about, what's his name? Cass Anvar or whatever, the Diego Luna's.
Oh, dude, I want to see that. It just sucks that we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
it's going to end in Rogue One.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really care about his story too. But I will say, I didn't care too much about Boba Fett's story until we saw this. So, and when we get into spoilers, there's a caveat to that anyway. So, but yeah, go watch it. It's all streaming now on Disney Plus. You can binge it in 2 days or 1 day if you really feel like going.
Awesome.
But now we're going to be getting into spoilers. We're going to talk the full series, episodes 1 through 7, as well as Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Probably will get spoiled a little bit by this. So, spoiler alert, guys. Turn it off now if you haven't seen it. But come on, go see it. All right, guys. The last 3 episodes. The 2 completely Mando-heavy episodes where he comes back to help him were fantastic.
Yeah, they were the best.
Those are Mando Fett episodes, remember?
Yeah.
Mando Fett, dude.
Or Bobalorian.
Bobalorian, yeah. I will say, I mentioned this to Christian this morning after I finished the last episode. I was like, I totally didn't realize that the music at the end, they're saying, Boba Fett,
So did you not catch that, or you read that, or you caught it?
I caught it. I was just like, "What the fuck?" They're singing Boba Fett.
I laughed the first time.
I
noticed.
I just started fast forwarding. I was like, "Is there going to be any Marvel after credits?"
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So I mostly like I mostly did that also, so I didn't have enough time to really listen to it. But I was just kind of like, I had it in the background while the episode had finished. I'm like, what? They're just singing Boba Fett, Fett, Boba, 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 Boba. I'm like, this is, I don't know. I guess it's cool, but I don't know. It's just very weird.
That sounds like some South Park shit, like some Trey Parker, some shit where they just do that. I don't know why.
Or they thought it was funny and knew they can get away with it after giving us that heavy dose of endorphins.
It is subtle too, because it could just be, a lot of that like symphonic background music is just people just saying vowel sounds and stuff. So it's like, it could have been anything, but yeah, it is pretty funny. Listen to it again if you didn't catch that yourself.
Maybe they did that with Duel of Fates and we didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's just like Obi-Wan, 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 Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, Darth Maul, Darth Maul.
It could be. I don't know. They
can't say Darth Maul very fast. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see them.
Oh man. So the first 4 episodes of the Boba Fett show, it's kind of bounces back and forth between him escaping from the Sarlacc pit, which Patton Oswalt laid out perfectly in Parks and Rec. And then him like getting basically nursed back to health by the Tuscan Raiders, and him kind of gaining an appreciation for their culture and all life in general, kind of thing. It like changed him as a person.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's those are some of my favorite parts. Is him learn. Like, I like that when like someone's thrown into a fish out of water type story, and they have to learn to appreciate a different culture. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's what I did when I moved to Daly City.
I think
you became Filipino.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
That happens.
Yeah,
it's like legit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, how many places can you go to and be like, "Hey, bro, you want some pancit?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Pancit, bro."
No, I'm all about the crispy pata and the kare kare.
Yeah, dude, kare kare is awesome.
Oh my god, I had it the other night.
But
that fantastic.
That to me was one of the where I was like, I don't really get it, which made more sense to me on the second watching. I was like, because I was like, why is he like, he's the boss of Mos. It was
Mos Espa.
Yeah, Mos Espa, and it's like, okay, he wants to help these people. It was like, but why? And it kind of maybe I missed some stuff on. Like when he was learning about the Tuscans, but on the second watch, he's like, this makes more sense.
Right,
he learned like it's better instead of being alone to be part of a
tribe.
Group. Yeah, part of a tribe.
And he's always kind of, if you watched Clone Wars, he's always been that way. He always gets like he's always part of like a small group, wants to be part of that small group, and then ends up getting effed over or something bad happens or left behind. And so he, ever since Jango dies, he's in these like horrible situations with groups of people. He ends up liking them, ends up wanting to work with them, and then something horrible happens.
Right,
you know?
right.
Which, if you watch Clone Wars, he was such a little shit as a kid. Oh my god, he's so annoying. Like, dude,
like Malfoy.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I never cloned you. I wish I'd never been cloned. I think that story did a lot to humanize him and to make him actually have like some character behind him. Because remember, he only had 2 minutes and 30 seconds of screen time in the original Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they had to build.
Maybe ramp that up to 4 minutes if you count the holiday special where he shows up on the dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then we got the Clone Wars where we saw him as a younger kid, but we never saw Boba Fett, the bounty hunter, in his full gear and stuff. And so Filoni and Favreau had to create that. Like, who is this guy actually, right? And I think they did an excellent job kind of humanizing him and giving him a reason why he would have this. Like, everyone thinks he's just a cold-blooded bounty hunter because that's the reputation he always had.
Yeah.
But it gives him a reason to basically become the savior of this town.
Yeah, and I feel like Filoni was responsible for establishing him as a character, right? Mm-hmm. Even though it was a younger version of him. So he was the perfect person to have come in as, the main person to come up with that story. And then having Favreau, who's like an encyclopedia of Star Wars,
Right.
Both of them are. But it was just the perfect kind of combination, And you see, that's what I think is a saving grace with those first 4 episodes of Boba Fett, is that those 2 guys were responsible for it, and they kind of pulled that story from Clone Wars and then evolved it into this new Boba Fett character. Yeah, it was believable for me.
And I think it's kind of interesting too, because when I first saw the Book of Boba thing teaser at the end of
Hated it
Mandalorian,
right away.
Yeah,
Hated it right away. He
I think
hated it.
title,
I was like,
I thought it was bad.
I do not want to see this. I couldn't like, and even I even said going into the show, I'm like, dude, I couldn't give less of a shit about Boba Fett's story on Mos Espa.
I was just like, I'll give it a try. I was like, if Mandalorian was this dope, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, who knows?
I knew I was going to watch it, but I was just like, I'm not going to be happy about it. But it's funny because the show actually plays off of some of those feelings in the beginning where like he's going around telling everyone, he's like, hey, I'm the boss of Mos Espa now. And they're like, who the fuck are you? Like, like you killed that guy. Who gives a shit? Like that guy was a punk ass too. And so he has to kind of like earn their respect. And it shows that there's more to being, you know, the new, I forget what the title is that they called it.
Daimon
or something like that. Yeah. Of Mos Espa. There's more than just like sitting on a throne and eating little squiggly frogs or whatever like Jabba did, you know?
You know who did the best at like showing that they gave zero fucks, and I actually ended up liking him a lot, was the secretary of the mayor of Tatooine.
He was great.
He was great.
Yeah, that guy was funny, man.
Like, he just showed up, and he was like, oh, yeah, where's your tribute? Oh, yeah, I can understand why you thought we were going to do that.
Yeah, I could understand how that could be perceived, but actually, we were hoping you would pay us.
Like, dude, the balls on that guy.
Yeah, that guy was great. Even in this last episode, too. He was so hilarious.
That was so funny. That
I was trained on Coruscant, not to say I'm better than you or a lead or anything, you know. And, you know, during this program, I was accepted into their elite class. I'm not rich. I'm just like you. You know, it's just like, it was so great. Such a great political satire.
I don't know who the actor is. I'm trying to look it up, but he was great.
Fantastic.
Don't you feel like watching?
And when Amy Sedaris was like, come on, cute face or whatever she calls him. Like, you're like, oh, fuck, they're going to bang later. It's going to be weird. But I'm here for it.
This, I swear, the whole Book of Boba Fett, you see Sergio Cabucci and Sergio Leone in the entire series.
Oh,
like the political fascist stuff. And I just watched the documentary with Quentin Tarantino, and I was like, dude, oh my God, because you can see Leone for sure, right? Like Fistful of Dollars,
right?
You
well,
see
the Mandalorian really, like, they nailed that Western, and that's what George Lucas originally wanted Star Wars to be, is like a fantasy Western in space.
Yeah. And
I feel like he lost sight of that a little bit with the prequel movies.
Yes.
The sequel movies, they were just a blockbuster cash grab primarily, right? But the Mandalorian really got back to the roots of Star Wars, and I think that's why it's been so well received, is that it's a Western in space. Like, I forget which episode it was of Mandalorian. I think it was the first season.
What's the Magnificent Seven?
Where it's Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai, which, you know, take your pick. Kurosawa or Leo, or Magnificent Seven wasn't Sergio Leone, was it?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Old spaghetti Western type deal. But it's like almost the exact same plot. And like, you see that with Cobb Vanth in Freetown or whatever the fuck they call it.
Now Freetown. Well, yeah, now
that's
Freetown.
what it was like. That it was, and the political fascist kind of stuff was like the whole syndicate. That's
the
why
syndicate's like the railroad coming to town, and they're like, you know,
I never even thought of that until watching that documentary with
and then
Quentin Tarantino.
Boba Fett goes and lives with, like, you know, some Native Americans essentially, and learns their way and learns to respect them. They're not so different from us. They've actually got it figured out better than us.
I actually loved. I never cared about the Tuscan Raiders at all. I was like, oh, they're always like at all. And then this one, I was like, oh my God, like now I care about them.
Now I know Anakin was a monster.
Well, so I was thinking that too. I thought that too, but there was a little bit of dialogue where they fixed it. It's after, you know, I guess that we're doing spoilers now, right?
Yeah.
It's after they stopped the long
train.
But they called it something else. But once they stopped the train,
space train.
Once they stopped the train and like they're having a little like
powwow?
Gathering after.
Let's call it a powwow.
It's called a powwow, sure. And
they're in their little huts. They're little huts made of skins that are kind of pointed. Teepees.
Yeah.
Teepees.
Sure. But when they're discussing, and he says, like, you know, like, oh no, you Boba sounds, you're proud people, and he's like, no, he's like, there's many tribes of the Tuscans. He's like, and some of us kill to live. And I was like, oh, he's talking about the actual raiders. Like, these aren't raiders. Like, these are a different type.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, the thing is to remember is that they're a people. They're a race of people. And there's a bunch of different groups of people, no matter where you are, right? No matter what planet you're on or whatever, they're not all going to be the same.
Yeah.
These ones obviously were much more connected to the land and tradition and stuff like that.
And psychedelics.
Yeah, it's like they just
Dude, cocaine
Joshua
lizards
Tree.
are fucking
Joshua
insane.
Tree.
yeah, the fucking lizards, just like, hey, you got any more of those lizards, boy? He's like, oh, this is a fat one. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Dude, what the grossest way to get high ever. And
Yeah.
when you watch it.
Well, if it went up your
dude.
ass, it'd be a little bit worse.
Yeah, it'd probably be a bigger lizard.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh
It's got to
my
reach
God.
all the way up.
Yeah. And you'd have to share that with other people. Other
Oh,
people's ass
man.
lizards.
I was watching that with the missus, and the first thing she says, like, that's been up multiple people's noses.
I know.
I'm like, did not think about that.
Dude.
They also don't have a lot of water, Christian. So did they wash it? I doubt it.
And a lot of boogers, right?
Yeah.
No water, a lot of dust out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
But I was wondering on the second rewatching, is like they first throw dust or the spice in his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, is it the spice that made him high?
It's both.
Yeah,
Or-
it's both.
Or is that what attracted the lizard? Was that he inhaled the spice? You know?
The lizard's a dope fiend.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
So the lizard, addicted to spice, he jumps in there, gets high as fuck, and just starts shitting his balls off. And it's the lizard shit mixed with the spice and psychedelic.
Oh
There
my
you go.
god!
Yeah.
And that's the part we didn't see is
Yeah.
Boba Fett like snorting out like lizard shit like after.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I got a big one. You know?
Yeah.
Little rolls of toilet paper to wipe your nose with. You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, the drip. Oh god, so bad.
Oh dude.
But then we get, we have kind of Boba setting up his empire, if you will, with like 5 people. The mods I was not a fan of.
No.
Dude,
They got-
I cheered when that bike got smashed in the last
In the last
episode.
episode,
When
yeah.
it flipped,
Yeah,
and that dude,
fucking
I was
get
like,
him.
Hurrah!
Yeah.
I didn't hate them towards the end, but I definitely disliked them in the beginning. I was like, ah.
My whole thing is like they play an important role, right? He needed more bodies because so far he just had Ming-Na Wen. I forget what her character name is.
Fennec Shin.
Fennec Shin or whatever. They had her and the 2 pig guard guys and the droid guy, and that's about it. Like he didn't have any muscle. He needed more bodies
Yeah.
to help. So you needed some group that was already kind of an established group, but like the colorful bikes just didn't fit into the Star
Oh,
Wars.
and
universe.
another
Dude,
point-
you got me.
Another point that the missus brought up when I was watching didn't strike me at all. I was like, wait, they robbed water. I'm like, yeah, they're poor. She's like, they're not poor. I'm like, no, they're poor. She's like, those are nice, colorful bikes. They're
Yeah.
not poor. I'm like, that's a good fucking point I didn't think about.
Yeah.
They should have shitty fucking bikes. Why do they have pretty bikes?
100%. The bikes, like, I don't mind the characters, and calling them mods is super clever because they look like mods from the 60s in
and
Britain.
they're modified, yeah.
Right, and they're modified, right? Also, the fact that they got Thundercat to be the mod doctor guy, that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, at first I was like, that looks like Thundercat. And I was like, nah, it can't be. And then I looked up the credits later. I'm like, fuck, it was him. But yeah, like having them called the mods and have like robot eyes and stuff, that's cool. But like the bikes just like broke the immersion.
It
for
didn't
me.
fit anything of the feel at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
And particularly if you're trying to stay in the Western feel, like it didn't fucking.
I feel like John Favreau and Dave Filoni did not. Someone made that decision.
That seems like a Robert Rodriguez choice to me.
Yeah, because they went so far.
Did he direct anything?
Yeah, he directed several episodes of these, and I
thought you were going to say Kathleen Kennedy for sure. Like that.
They
was
went so far though, right, to bring us into like that.
It would have all been
aesthetic.
women,
Yeah,
not just the one. It that didn't fit the world, and that kind of bothered me. I didn't mind them as characters, and like kind of, we saw a little bit of redemption for them in this last episode where, you can see that they're actually worth something. So characters weren't bad. I just thought that the bikes in particular were a bad choice to me.
yeah.
They could have been any speeders, they could have been like, like we've seen like the regular speeder bikes or the swoops or whatever they're called. Like have those and then have like some, I don't know, some like lightning bolts spray painted black on the side. But the glossy red with chrome.
It didn't even fit when you went to like their mod like
Shop,
area. When you went to that shop, it didn't look
Everything
like it
was
fit there.
grungy, yeah.
It didn't look there. I'm like, why not even make it fit here? Like,
Right. And like like I don't know that there was very few times that their mods ever really came into play. Like
two chase scenes.
There was like, oh, this one guy got an eye.
But why is that a mod? Why did they choose the mod? Like, I can't see that well, so now I have to focus manually.
He's like, oh, now I can spin my eyeball and I can see closer.
There was like one guy had the leg that just booted.
Yeah, the one guy had like robot legs and he like jumped or whatever. Yeah, but very rarely. I wanted some more like missiles, like
some Mega Man hands, like just fucking blast.
If you're gonna like get robot hands, get like badass robot hands.
Yeah, and reference like Mega Man for sure.
Yeah,
or Metroid. Yeah, like come on.
Or like Boba Fett's like knee missiles. Did you catch those?
Dude, that was cool.
Mando had them too. He just didn't shoot them, but he has them there.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I like those knee missiles. I thought that was cool. That dual fighting scene was a cool scene.
Oh, of course. Now let's talk about Mandalorian, right? Because like I hate to say it, but without him showing up in this series, I wouldn't have cared.
No.
But and it's not like the Boba Fett stuff was bad, but it's enhanced by the Mandalorian, and you get two different versions of you see what these two warrior guys are like. But man, the first episode 5, where it's just all Mando, no Boba Fett at all. God damn.
What a great episode.
So good.
And even if you compared it to the entire season 1 and 2 of Mando, it was a great episode.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
it would have been the highlight of one of those as well. Yeah.
Yes.
We see him learning how to fight with the dark saber, which gets heavier the more he uses it.
Well, it's because he's fighting against it. What the blacksmith
armor, yeah. And what I remember of the lore of the dark saber is because it's so old and it's so different from a regular lightsaber. It's like constantly pushing energy through it, and so if you're fighting against it. It like basically it sucks energy out of you, making it harder to like use, kind of thing. It's kind of cool, kind of like Nightblood from Stormlight.
Yeah, you got to fight with it, not against it.
Exactly.
And I feel like that that's gonna bring him into Grogu's story more. I feel like that's gonna be like this piece that links. If he
both of them are going to learn how to use the lightsaber.
Yes. If they go into that, right? If they go that route, which who knows? But if they do, that's gonna like bring the
a little black dark saber. That'd be fucking dope.
I would lose my mind. The cuteness overload. Even here.
One thing that's crazy too is if Grogu does use it, right? He is now the Mandalorian and Jedi, like the original dark saber wielder. I forget that guy's name, but. The dual citizenship, so to speak, of the two different factions. So that'd be cool.
Be so cool. When I saw that little chainmail under the shirt, dude, I died of
that was my first guess. My first guess was chainmail.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And then after, I was like, no, maybe a cape. A cape would be fucking dope. But I was like, no, maybe
like a cape would be super cute.
I totally thought lightsaber parts. I was like thinking of him like putting it together with the Force and it being like this crazy Beskar lightsaber.
Yeah, that would be fucking sick. But in that episode too, we see that he basically gets kicked out of the Mandalorians. That faction of Mandalorians anyway.
You're talking about Mando?
Mando, yeah.
Well, temporarily, which is kind of bullshit. He's holding the dark saber, which makes him the ruler of Mando. It's like, you know what? That rule's fucking stupid.
That rule's stupid. I'm your king.
I'm your king.
Calm down.
I'm taking that away. Like, fuck that rule.
You're not an armor anymore. Get fucked.
Yeah. But don't you feel like they did that to like give us something to hang on to for season 3?
Oh yeah,
like they gave us like the seed of that story, Yeah,
they said he's got to go underneath the mines or whatever. Yeah, so who knows what he's gonna find there?
Yeah, and I think too. I kind of think that his storyline is going to be him connecting Bo-Katan's faction of.
Oh, they're definitely going to fight. They're going to fight for sure.
Yeah, I think they're going to fight for sure. But I think in the end, he's going to unite them and I forget the zealot, that this is the way Mandalorians. Because they say in Bo-Katan's episode that there's two factions of Mandalorians, ones that are more like, Orthodox and ones that are less. And I think
you're saying they're Jews. That's the Orthodox. And
that's not what Orthodox means.
No, there's the Orthodox Jews. The ones that are more strict and the ones that kind of chill.
Yeah, there's Orthodox everything. There's Orthodox Greeks. There's Orthodox everything. Those are the ones that like still worship Hera.
We're Orthodox nerds. We're Orthodox nerds.
Exactly. We only recognize the one true Star Wars.
Oh God, dude.
That of Lucas and that of Filoni.
I think like the Orthodox would not accept Filoni. There's just going to be the original 3.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
right. He's right.
That's
That would
true.
be the Orthodox. Yeah.
Yeah, we're heretics.
I'm down.
Heresy. Yeah, we'd be like the new ones. Be like, you know what, guys? This new one's kind of cool too. They're like heresy. Like
I tripped out that my daughter is probably not going to know who George Lucas is.
Yeah.
She's going to think Star Wars is
Dave
Filoni and
Favreau.
Favreau.
Yeah.
That's going to be her world. Like, it's going to be crazy.
Just show her Howard the Duck, except for the they show the titties, the duck titties in the beginning, and just be like, "This is George Lucas, and this only. That's it."
Totally.
That
Ewoks, Caravan
burned
of
in
Hope.
my memory, right? The duck titties
Duck titties.
from that, because that movie. Came
It's right
out
in the
when
beginning.
we were like
Yeah.
8. We're like, right?
Yeah, I know. It's
Even
so weird.
even as a kid, I was like,
How did
why?
this movie get made? Even as a child, I'm like,
cocaine.
why?
It
A
did.
lot of cocaine.
It was because of cocaine,
Yeah.
dude. It was
For
a
sure.
cocaine movie.
That was
Yeah.
definitely cocaine.
Like Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, he looks sweaty.
100%.
Yeah.
He looks sweaty and
His
coked out.
eyes always bulging,
Yeah.
dude. He's always just did a line.
We need duck tits.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need duck tits. More duck tits. I'm like,
It's like birds they're not mammals.
nah.
Put them in sex cells. All right, dude. We'll just
All
fucking
right,
add nipples.
Sure.
There's chicken breasts. Fucking ducks have titties. All right, I guess. Fucking
Fuck. Jesus Christ. Then we get episode 6, where we see Grogu and Luke.
Oh my god.
that Luke.
God
the
damn.
Luke looked amazing.
Right.
Yes.
People were talking so much shit about the first thing in Mando, but like this, I was like, dude, I fucking is there a time machine? Like
Right.
this looks
Dude.
fucking great.
It
they
looked
could make a
so
series
good.
with that.
Oh my
It
God.
was so good.
Yeah, like you could still tell every once in a while. Like
Yeah.
the thing was like the lips, you wouldn't see the teeth behind it necessarily. But besides that, like it looked like Mark Hamill, like, a year or two after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would watch that
And
series.
even
for
the
sure.
voice, like I can't tell if it's a vocal performance by someone else
I'm sure it was Mark Hamill.
because it doesn't sound like him today. You know
No,
what-
it sounds like him back then.
Yeah,
which is
they
crazy.
probably modified the voice,
I'm
but
sh-
I bet you they mapped lips.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. Like
Right.
they did so well. Like I think it had to be mocap.
I
or
think
something.
I think they deep faked probably is
Yeah,
probably what
yeah,
they
you're
did.
right. Maybe
And then
deep fake.
they probably had, because when he first showed up in Mando and everyone complained, like 3 days later there was a guy who's like, look, I fixed it, and he used deepfake technology, which for those of you who don't know, basically you feed a computer a bunch of images and video files of someone else, like Mark Hamill in this case, and it learns their face from multiple angles. And then you take your performer who's doing the performance, and you have them take like 360-degree angles with them opening their mouth and stuff, and the computer maps the old one onto the new one, and which is crazy. Like they've done crazy things with that so far. But yeah, man, it was so good. So I assume they're doing something like that now
They
and doing
have
like a
to.
really good version of it.
Because I want to know what happened with that school. Like I would be totally down to see.
Oh,
series
we
about
know
that.
what happened, Dan. Kylo Ren destroys it
I
all.
want to see it. I want to see him fight the other. I want to see like a whole bunch of Jedi battling him.
I really didn't know which way it was gonna go in the beginning. Like when like Luke gives him a choice because Mando comes and gives him the little vest he wasn't allowed.
Let me just say, when Ahsoka's like, you shouldn't go up there, it's too hard for him, and he says, but I've come all this way, I fucking teared up. I'm like, he came all this way. He
loves
see
him.
his little buddy.
Yeah, and not only that,
Yeah,
like,
it's just
dude, the little kid's gonna think he doesn't care about him. Like,
Yeah, and I was just like, my heart broke in that scene.
It was
Isn't
a
that crazy?
cuteness overload episode.
even with the helmet, you could
Pedro
like, it still
Pas-
fucking
Pedro
pulled the
Pascal,
emotions.
that's
Yeah,
his name? Yeah. He does such a good job, and I think he doesn't get enough credit because he's wearing the helmet all the time. But to make you feel that
yeah.
with just using your voice and body is crazy. Like
Yeah.
he is an excellent actor,
I
and
feel
he
like
doesn't
he's doing a great physical performance too. Like
You
that
have to.
physical performance he does. Like that's what
it's
makes
not like
me,
remember like Star Wars or not Star Wars, Power Rangers when they have the helmets on and they all talk like this.
Yeah.
Tommy, I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that. It's just he talks like a dude in the helmet, and it's so good.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's what made me think of Leone. That if they didn't have him,
Right.
And I feel like the guy, of course, because he was in Deadwood. What's his name?
Oliphant.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant. Yeah.
So him too, but that's because of Deadwood, right? Like he had that kind of persona, that physical kind of like, and the guy, I don't know who played
Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane. I don't know what was the actor.
Well, the voice actor from the Clone Wars did his voice, but some performance
Wasn't
arts.
Cad Bane John Favreau?
No.
Who did he do the voice of? It was someone.
Oh,
like that.
he definitely did
like
a voice.
Some bounty hunter, right?
I don't know whose voice, but yeah, he did a voice.
Yeah.
To me, that's when it felt more Western. Was when Cad Bane, particularly when he's like
Walking in from the sun.
Was so
I was like,
cool.
oh
You get
my
the heat
god.
shimmer and stuff.
And the hat camera.
Yeah, all of
right?
it.
The hat
Oh,
camera.
yeah.
Oh man.
And the tucking his jacket back behind the gun. I mean, it's classic High Noon gunsmith.
And this, to me, proved that you can't make all Star Wars fans happy. Was people were talking shit about Cad Bane. I'm like, first off,
that is so stupid.
all the movements was amazing.
Right.
He looked fucking great. But they're saying, oh, like his face was too thick. I fixed it. And someone like CG made his face slightly thinner so it looked like the cartoons. Like, shut the fuck up.
First of all,
They did so
those
good.
cartoons look like bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? Like everything sucked in there. Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't have a pointy beard that didn't move.
I know.
Like grow
I
the
know.
fuck up.
They did so good. They
Oh,
did
he
such
was
a
amazing.
good combo. It's like when they choose to do the puppets in Mandalorian, right?
Right.
Instead
Right.
of the CG.
Yeah.
They made really good decisions. I
Right.
feel like they did.
Well, the thing is too is that like for those like I don't think I've watched all of Clone Wars. I've watched a lot of it, but the animation sucks so much, and the fact that it's geared towards such a young audience has always turned me off to it. But there is good stories in there, right? And so a lot of people have not watched that series. And they're not going to know who Cad Bane is. But when he walks in, you instantly know that he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You instantly know when he starts talking to Boba Fett and he's like, been a while or whatever. You're like, oh shit, these guys have a history. Oh, he taught Boba Fett how to be a bounty hunter. You're like, oh shit. So in whatever screen time he had, 10, 15 minutes of screen time, he became like a character that you're instantly afraid of because he took out Cobb Vanth instantly. And then he also became like, this nemesis for Boba Fett that we didn't have to know his whole backstory, but you can kind of figure out enough of it. Very effective storytelling.
They did. They
you
did
know
a
that
great
dent?
job.
Yeah.
That's from fucking Cad Bane. See, and that's why you gotta watch Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And when you finally see his hat fall off of Cad Bane, the metal plate he has, that's from Boba Fett, who
Boba
did
Fett.
that to him.
Nice. Yeah, I don't remember that from that. I do remember him just as his own character in Clone Wars. I don't remember him with Boba, but maybe I haven't gotten that far. I'll watch it again eventually.
It's awesome, dude. That's
It
an
is. It
awesome
really
arc.
is.
It's a great arc. And then right when you see him in Boba Fett, you're like, dude.
Fuck.
Because he was supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to pop up,
No,
right?
no.
I thought he was dead.
Well,
when I saw him, I remember thinking, what?
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't that a reveal?
That's why like the whole dents on each other is like they both survived. But he does, if you watch The Bad Batch, he pops up again with Fennec Shen, so they both show up there.
Nice. I never finished that one. The animation. I don't know. Animation, for me, it has like I grew up watching anime, so like when shitty animation like affects the storytelling, I'm just like I hate this because like anime can be so good.
Oh
but
my God.
and then we have the last episode. We get Boba riding a Rancor.
Yep.
That
Fuck
was
yeah.
sick.
Call back to the holiday special where he rode a dinosaur.
That's so funny.
And then we have Grogu
I
shows
did
up.
not think about that. They didn't have to like explain at all why he can ride because he rode the fucking dinosaur.
Well, so when he's like, I want to ride him the
Good
first
call.
time, he's like, I've ridden things twice as big as this
Yeah.
thing. Holiday special is now
fucking
canon.
call.
Hilarious.
Good call.
And then and Grogu shows up with R2D2. R2D2 flies him in an X-wing, and he's wearing the little Beskar.
And we were
chain
talking
there.
about earlier. It's like, oh, I wonder why Luke didn't show up.
Yeah, awkward, a little awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, Boba Fett.
Hey,
Last time I saw you, you were in the Sarlacc pit. How'd that go? Yeah, well, I got out. Okay,
Thanks a lot.
thanks,
My armor's a different color now.
Boba Fett. What's up, man? Where you been? I was in the Sarlacc pit. Oh, that's right. How's that?
also, like, I mean, I love how Luke looked, and like he was very much how you remember him from the other series. Except, I think it was two things. He just let a kid unsupervised through space.
Yeah.
with a robot.
R2, take care of this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a disgrace. He chose wrong.
Yeah, I'm done. He chose wrong.
Yeah.
Take him away.
Get him out of my sight.
And we know Luke loses it when you choose wrong. I mean, look at with Kylo
Yeah,
Ren.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And second, to make a
That
kid,
scene.
We were talking about this, I think last week, but we didn't talk about it on air. It's like, to make a child choose, hey, here's some whack-ass clothes that your old dad made you, or I can give you this fucking shiny toy.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to choose, huh?
Yeah.
Huh, kid? Which one are you going to pick?
Yeah. Also, man, one thing to remember, only Sith steal in absolutes.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we haven't seen the last of Luke in these series. I hope we do see more of him. I think that would be cool.
I think if people start reacting positively like we are, like to like how great he looked, they'll probably bring him back
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I hope so,
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see more of him and Ahsoka Tano. The little, like, you know,
Oh
you're
my
so much like
God.
your father, or, you know, I'm a friend of the family's.
Her performance is great. There were so little things, like someone had pointed out how, like, when she stands with the one arm, I was like, dude, like, because the cartoon did that all the
Yeah,
time. Like,
she
dude,
did.
that's fucking awesome. Though, like, there's little things like that.
I
They
thought she
caught
did
on.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, as a fan of Clone Wars, like,
Yeah.
she did really good. And I was surprised, too, because I don't necessarily like Rosario Dawson that much. Like, no joke. Like,
Yeah.
Clerks,
I
like, she
love
messed with me in
Oh my
Clerks
God,
a little
I
bit.
love her in Clerks.
But she, like,
It was
but
the
she
ass
did
to mouth,
great.
wasn't it?
Oh,
She
yeah.
did great in that
In
movie.
the
you know,
in the heat of
series.
passion.
Oh, dude. Dude. Oh.
Also, in Daredevil, you know, as Claire.
Oh yeah.
She's great. I love Rosario Dawson. Marry me. Anyway, I think that series is going to be great, and hopefully we'll see more of that. Maybe we'll see, like, now that Grogu is not going to be trained by Luke, maybe we'll see her actually be like, you know what, I should finish his training, and she'll come in.
Or
and
at
help
least
out.
little bits, because she's a Grey now. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not part of the Jedi Order. She doesn't follow that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And she didn't lose any of her abilities.
No,
Right.
and she went through, like, that whole thing, like, after leaving and after all that stuff with Anakin,
Yeah.
Right.
and then going against Vader, like, that was like a
That
cool,
was, I
rich
will say,
story.
for the Clone Wars, that final season was an excellent cap to her
Yeah,
story.
It was awesome.
Because that's one thing I
loved it.
do remember about the Clone Wars is I'm like, oh, like what happened with them though? You know, it's like this entire show was about, like, the two of them essentially.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get a lot of Obi-Wan and Anakin too, but a lot of it was focused around Ahsoka and Anakin, and we never saw a resolution to that.
Yeah.
And then we saw it in that last season. Those couple episodes or whatever was fantastic.
Yeah,
It was
100%.
great.
It's fucking awesome.
Where he picks up the lightsaber and you can see in his eyes for a minute. You're like, oh fuck, he remembers.
And her realizing that, hey, even though I don't follow, like, this, like, dogma, like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
follow this, I can still help people and use the Force. Like,
Right.
I can still use it and not
Right.
necessarily have to go to the dark side. You
Yeah,
know?
she was helping the broke
The
car
sisters.
thieves. Yeah,
Yeah. And then seeing, like, Anakin, like, that's a dark Jedi. That's what happened to him. I'm not that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that battle showed it to her. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's also not, she's not an Obi-Wan Kenobi either, who
No.
followed the Jedi laws to the T and was basically, like, exiled because of it. He basically, the Republic fell because of how close they fell to the Doctrine and stuff. So yeah, she's an interesting character. I'm excited to see more of her.
Remember I told you I thought of Jolie when I thought of her from Knights of the Old Republic?
Oh yeah,
Remember Jolie? Do you remember Jolie?
I know.
The gray Jedi, the guy that he finds on the planet, that the main character in Knights of the Old Republic. He was like an old Jedi, and then he left because of some crazy thing that happened to him.
remember.
Yeah, you look him up after. He's a sick character, but I instantly thought of Jolie and Ahsoka, and I'm like, dude, Grogu could totally be like that,
Yeah.
But you're right. Wouldn't be a gray Jedi. What do we say? Like just
like a Force user,
a Force user,
just a
yeah.
non-affiliated Force
With
user.
the Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like what's her name, Maz, or
Yeah.
bar owner? I forgot her name.
Yeah, Mama Maz or whatever her name is.
What's-
I don't remember. Didn't they call her like
the
mother?
mixologist?
Yeah, yeah. But also it's like, they're in Star Wars Rebels. There's also there's like Force using creatures out in the world who are not Jedi.
Yeah.
They're but they can use the Force. And then the witches of Dathomir are not. They're not Sith necessarily.
Well,
but
they're magic. They say magic, so I'm hoping that they do actually bring them up, like eventually, like.
Yeah, but I mean, the Force is magic. You know what I mean?
Well, I was so curious when they mentioned the witches Dathomir and they say magic, because in the first Star Wars where they talk about Obi-Wan, he's like, oh, the wizard, like, who's out, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So there must be like that, like, out there in that universe.
Yeah, so I think what it is the witches of Dathomir are using the Force in ways that the Jedi never figured out or understood.
Yeah,
Could be.
And so it's perceived as.
And in
magic.
Rebels, you see like these like deities, right? Like
Right.
the brother, sister, all these things that like Jedi's
like the wills and stuff like that.
that are based off of, right? They're supposedly based off of this. So now it's kind of opening up the book to like, okay, I have the Force. I can use a lightsaber, but I'm not a Jedi or anything really. I'm just like a
Right.
I hope it goes in that direction. It'd
I'm
be
so
cool.
excited to see fucking more.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
That little lightsaber got me stoked. I was like,
How about when he's walking with Grogu through the woods and like force pushing?
That
him?
was
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
That was
Cuteness
fucking
overload. That was a cuteness overload.
and then
Moment.
because he couldn't catch up with his little legs, and
Yeah.
Luke didn't want to slow down, so he's like, "All right, just catch up with me."
and we see Luke running with him on the backpack like
Like
Yoda, right? And then also when Grogu's like balancing and Luke's doing like the sword kata or whatever with the lightsaber, I got chills. I was like,
I was laughing because his little feet were his little 3 feet were hey like this dude when he was like balancing, it's like a little chicken foot up in the air. I was rolling, dude. I was
love
laughing
it.
so hard.
I love that he was learning the Yoda jumps. He was learning to move quickly.
He's just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
starts
thinking
bouncing
of
out.
that. I was hoping he'd make a noise.
Oh, do we still have that on one
Oh
of
my
these?
god.
Nope. Yeah, that's
It's still on there.
Beans. Oh my god.
yeah. It was so good, guys. If you've listened this far and haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, what are you doing? I mean, realistically, you could start on episode 5.
Yeah, no joke.
If
you really don't care about Boba Fett that much, like you're like,
I mean, you
huge
get caught
Mandalorian
up.
fan.
You get caught up pretty quickly. There's good stuff in there for sure. Like we should on the beginning a little. Black Chrysanthemum's
That's
awesome.
what I was gonna say. You'd miss out on his intro.
He's great. The mods are terrible, but
I honestly thought he was gonna die when he was like walking towards like the
dude. That guy is a tank. And then also we didn't mention this. The after credits scene in the last episode.
I don't know who that was.
I think it's Cobb Vance.
I don't know who it is either.
I feel like it was a blonde guy.
I think it was gray hair.
Was it gray?
I think it's Cobb
Dude,
Vance.
That'd be cool.
And then we saw Thundercat, the mod guy, going to mod him. So I think he's going to show up again with some heavy mods.
I was gonna ask, and then I got so distracted talking about fucking like the other stuff. But yeah, I'm wondering if like who that was.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
certain
think-
it was him. But who else would it be?
I don't
And
know.
it would suck
I
if
thought
he's gone.
I thought when we
Yeah.
first saw it, it was going to be like Cad Bane for a reason. I'm like, why would he do that? But then it, obviously not a blue guy. Obviously a humanoid guy.
I don't think he's dead. He's survived way too much shit. I don't think he's dead.
He just it was too awesome. Like,
He's
to
such a
have
great
him in those
villain.
couple episodes, like,
Right.
and he could really do his own thing outside of the syndicate and still be like a antagonist or like some sort of villain that pops in and out.
Yeah.
and that's what he was.
And
in
even if they
Clone Wars.
continue the seasons of Book of Boba Fett, like to have him a constant threat would be
Yeah.
fucking great.
I also totally called it that Grogu would be in the little bubble in the
Oh, yeah,
Naboo.
for sure.
we were talking about that night. Remember?
Totally called it.
Oh my
that
God.
bubble's Grogu bubble. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I will say, last thing I'll say about it is, I was surprised that Grogu showed up and had
Yeah.
made his decision so quickly.
I didn't think
thought that
I
was
didn't
going to be
think it was
season
gonna happen.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thought that
I didn't
too.
think that was gonna happen at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally.
But it was awesome when they showed the little fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dude.
What up? It's me, bitch. And then I love Tracy Ullman too, and
Yes.
she fits so good in that role as just this ridiculous lady.
No small parts, only small actors, right? And
Yeah.
and that's like the
Oh,
epitome
she
of
was
that.
great.
She does so good in that role.
Yeah, and her like, oh, look at you, bright eyes, come on, let's get you some food. She is great, and then her hitting on the secretary dude.
Yeah. So you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of that, like, you can't kind of put your finger on it thing that that Han Solo had. Right. Like, he's funny, but like he doesn't have to try to be funny. Like,
Yeah, he's
that's
he's not cracking jokes. It's just who he is. It's
Yes,
funny.
yes, he's
Right.
like a rogue, like a lovable rogue. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, you just heard us like wax poetic about it for 40 minutes straight or whatever. It's worth checking out, and it only gets me more and more excited for the future. Obi-Wan Kenobi start streaming
man.
May
May
25th.
I
Yeah,
can't
Memorial
wait.
Day weekend, I think.
Which is like, what the fuck are we supposed to do for like?
for now, yeah.
Yeah, up until then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a Star Wars shaped hole in my heart until
know,
until
man.
then. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited for any news about Ahsoka Tano too, and of course Mando season 3. Which is that?
I have no idea when that's coming out.
Yeah, me either.
It's got to be coming eventually.
Dude,
'cause,
it's
God,
gonna
I
be-
could literally watch an unlimited amount of those two together.
Dude,
So good.
I'm seriously, I just after talking want to go watch like season 1, 2, and then 4, 5, or 5, 6, and 7.
I'm not even joking. I'm like, what the fuck
like
are we supposed to
thinking
do
of that. I'm
March
thinking of
and April? Like,
Yeah. Well, we got Doctor Strange coming out pretty soon. Well, that's in May too now, isn't it? Or April?
I don't know. It got
It
pushed
did
back.
get pushed back a couple months.
We'll just have to watch Joe Rogan.
Morbius.
Morbius. Yeah.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
sorry to leave.
I'm gonna watch Morbius.
I'm gonna watch it too.
Who knows? Because you know.
I know.
Batman.
Oh, and Batman. I
Oh,
forgot.
Batman,
Yeah, that's right.
guys.
That's right.
Batman.
Yeah,
I
that's
swear,
March.
the more I
That's
watch
March.
it, the more I think he might actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Like,
it looks good.
I was totally against him until I saw.
Me too.
Until I saw Lighthouse and Tenet. I'm like, okay, he can do it.
He can
I'm like,
act.
he can do it.
And there was
He gets a lot of shit
they
because-
showed some really good stuff. I
Yeah.
think he's bringing it. I think he's really trying to bring it.
Right. I'm excited for that one. So hopefully it'll be good. We did our last episode was like the top Batmans, like best Batmobile, best
Oh my god.
best Batman with gadgets.
We got a little time.
Best
What's
Bruce
what's
Wayne.
your opinions, real quick?
My opinion
Yeah.
of best Batman.
Yep.
Well, like, so who had the best Batmobile?
The original Batmobile.
The
I love the
Adam
original,
West one?
No. Oh no. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Not the original movie Batmobile.
Tim Burton Batmobile.
Yeah, Tim Burton
that
Batmobile.
was
That was a tie between mine was that one and
the Justice League
the
one.
Justice League one.
Or Justice League / Batman Superman. And then who do you think did the best Bruce Wayne?
Oh man, that's tough. The best Bruce Wayne. Oh Lord, it has to be the original Batman. Him,
Adam West again?
No. Oh no, the original movie Batman. I keep saying.
Well, yeah, he did a movie.
Oh my God, he did. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
It's just some
what's his
days you
name?
can't get rid of
No.
a bomb, and he's
Yeah,
running around.
you're right. I'm spacing on his name. Come on.
Adam West. Oh, Christian Bale.
No.
Michael Keaton?
Michael
Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton was my favorite
Yeah.
because he was aloof, rich. He seemed like
Come on.
Yeah.
Fucking Beetlejuice.
Oh my God, dude, I love Beetlejuice. Yeah.
And then what was the other one we did? Best. So just to cut it short, what's the best Batman? Like the portrayal of Batman in the suit.
Not Bruce Wayne, but yeah.
Batman.
The newest Batman.
Ben Affleck?
No. I'm sorry.
Robert Patterson. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Oh, okay.
Christian Bale's the
Yeah.
best to me.
For me, Batfleck all the way.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
You
No,
like
I was
him
the
as
same,
Batman?
dude. Yeah,
Really?
I loved him. Yeah.
Why?
I think he was the best portrayal of Batman in a movie that we've ever seen,
Actually, you're right.
but not
You're right.
movie.
You're
Like,
right.
don't get it confused with the best Batman movie. I think that's like Dark Knight. Probably is probably
Yeah.
my favorite.
I think you're right actually because he was way more jaded and way more concerned with like the JLA world than
Yeah.
the other Batman.
But
was.
not only
Yeah,
that,
'cause
like-
he's
But the
that
way
in
he
comics.
fought,
the way
too,
he
like-
fought, like with the
Oh,
grappling hook
yeah,
and up in
yeah.
the shadows.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Christian Bale never did anything.
No, he never did.
He went
It
on
was
top
lot
of a
kung
building
fu. Yeah.
and shot a grappling hook over to another building and slid across, and that was like the most Batman thing ever.
He picked someone up. Swear to me.
Swear to me. I think we did Batman voice. Who did the best Batman voice? And
The worst one I feel like is Val Kilmer, and it's because he didn't want to do it.
Ooh, over
Ooh.
George Clooney, huh?
Yeah, because he didn't want to do it. Did you see his?
Oh, I didn't know that.
documentary? You got to watch the Val Kilmer's documentary.
Oh, yeah.
I
He
did
talks
want to watch
about
that.
it.
It seems so good.
Dude, he talks
I love
about
Val
it. You're
Kilmer.
like, that's a Batman movie. When he describes what a Batman movie is before
Yeah.
Nolan, dude, it's trippy. You're like, really? That was what a Batman movie was?
yeah,
That's why Bruce
interesting.
Wayne's so important.
Yeah,
like, in those movies. you
right.
know?
Yeah, and I think one thing a lot of people don't realize, I think, is that Batman Forever was a continuation of Batman Returns and Batman. It was designed to be like, now he's been in those two movies, dealt with that. Now he's trying to give up being Batman to be with Vicky Vale or whatever. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, Batfleck. I'm a big Batfleck fan.
No,
I think
I think he didn't do bad at all.
I think he got
But
robbed of not having his own movie, because I
Yeah.
think that had the potential to be one of the best Batman movies. Also,
When you guys, the way you described it, you guys are right.
Yeah.
Because when I think back, because I just watched the Snyder Cut, like when I think back, you guys are right. Like that way, the way he fought, the
his
way he
first
acted,
intro
he
in
did good.
Batman v Superman too, with the guys in the warehouse or whatever, and he's up in the corner.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, so fucking sick. And then the other one we had that I thought was interesting was best Batman villains in a movie, aside from Heath Ledger.
Oh, aside from Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
was
'cause,
about
I
to
mean,
say
it's
Heath
kinda hard.
Ledger.
Dude, he fucking
He
killed
nailed it,
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed himself doing it. And
Yeah.
for me, it would be between, and it's for two different reasons, between Bane and Two-Face. And the reason is because Bane.
Which Two-Face? The one in Batman Forever Return? No, Batman
the one
and
with
Robin?
Val Kilmer. The one with Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Batman Forever.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones,
because he was freaking crazy. And if
Yeah.
you read the comics, that's how Two-Face was.
Right.
He lost it. And even the Batman the Animated Series.
Right,
he
right.
was so like the one from the Batman the Animated Series.
Right.
And
Oh,
I
he was,
love
for
that Two-Face, you know?
I do too.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
It was Bane.
Bane.
Because Bane, is jaded
from the same
Dark Knight series.
from Batman and Robin?
No, from the Dark Knight series. Oh, you're right.
He
you're
looked
right.
great.
He
He
did.
looked
Oh my
great.
God! Wait a second. Oh my God! No, the hot Uma Thurman. Oh
Yeah,
my God!
Poison Ivy,
Just because
goddamn.
of how I love her.
I think we both agreed on this one that for us it was Penguin and
Oh my God, you're
and
right.
Catwoman in
Dude,
Batman Returns.
You guys are right. You guys are right. I'm wrong. I totally forgot about Penguin and Catwoman. You guys
So
are
Just
good.
because Danny
100%
DeVito, like, dude,
right.
I would have never
Danny
guessed.
DeVito did great.
Yeah.
If someone's like, he
Where
can
he's
play a
eating the
scary,
fish.
yeah.
Oh my God! When he ate. Oh my God! When he ate that fish.
And he
So
bit that
good.
guy's nose. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You guys are right.
So
I
good.
totally spaced on that.
Oh, so good.
See, that's the kind of thing you have to do your homework before you bring up. You got to
Yeah.
rewatch those.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that I feel bad now because you're 100% right. Penguin was awesome.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Listen to last week's episode if you want to check out all the Batman stuff that we went over because we did a full episode on it, getting ready for the new Robert Pattinson
Can't
one.
wait.
And make sure while you're there, like and subscribe on the YouTubes or give us a follow on the social medias or various podcasting platforms. We do appreciate that. If you want to become a patron, I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning now that I'm thinking about it, but if you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Lots of cool rewards on there, or you can just help donate for nothing. It's up to you. We do appreciate that. It helps keep the lights on in this humble podcast we got. And we do appreciate all of our patrons who already support us every week. We do appreciate you guys. That's why we list your credits, your names floating above our faces every week. We do appreciate that. Dan, thanks for coming in
Hey,
and
thanks for having me.
you
It
know
was
talking
awesome.
some Star Wars with us. It's nice to have, I think you're the first.
In person.
Oh no, we had Joey from
Oh, that's right.
from
not in person. I think he was. Oh no,
no, he
you're
did
right.
come once or twice.
Yes,
but,
once or twice.
but
yes,
you're only
yes.
like the second person we've had in guest since we've
Thank
been doing
you. I
in the
appreciate
studio.
it.
So
I love talking with you guys about
Just
nerdy
come back,
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
we'll
man.
have
I
you
love
back
it.
on for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe once Obi-Wan starts or something,
Oh
or
my
whatever the
God.
next big one is. You know, we'll have to have you on. But we do appreciate that, Christian. As always, thanks for being the Robin to my Batman.
I thought you were gonna say the Grogu to your Mando. dude.
Ooh, the Grogu to my
Oh,
Mando.
He is cute.
The Fennec to my Boba.
There you go.
I appreciate you. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.